The late afternoon sun glared over the rim of Dry Creek Canyon, baking the earth and casting jagged shadows across the rocks. Dust swirled as wheels buckled and the shriek of frightened horses echoed off the walls. The rickety wagon careened sideways, one wheel snapping clean off. It tumbled, shuddered, then slammed into a boulder with a thunderous crash. Silence followed, broken only by the weak whimper of a woman pinned beneath splintered wood. Clara Whitmore blinked against the dust and blood stinging her eyes. Her hands trembled as she tried to push the debris off her legs. One ankle was twisted, the pain biting with every shallow breath. Her bonnet hung from her neck, her auburn hair tangled and wild. She was alone. Again. 3 days earlier, Clara had fled from a cool would-be husband in Prescott, a man who'd bought her from a desperate orphanage with intentions darker than marriage. She'd stolen his mule team in the night and taken the old wagon with dreams of starting anew in Whitehorn, a tiny frontier town she'd only heard about in whispers from other women. But now, the dream was broken like the wheel beside her. Chapter 2. The Grieving Cowboy. Colt Mercer rode the edge of the canyon, leading his dapple-gray Mustang slowly, scanning the horizon for trouble. He wasn't looking for anything, or anyone, in particular. That's how most of his days had gone since his wife passed last spring, buried under the cottonwoods on their quiet ranch 2 miles from town. His days were long, his nights longer, filled with silence and aching absence. He almost didn't notice the crash until he saw the black smoke curling up from the canyon floor. With a jolt, Colt kicked his horse into a gallop down the steep trail, heart thudding against his ribs. He expected bandits, maybe travelers under attack. But as he reached the base of the canyon, what he found stilled him: a broken wagon, splintered and burned on one side, and a young woman slumped among the wreckage. Her dress was torn, face streaked with grime and dried blood. But her eyes, defiant even in pain, met his with fierce resolve. "Don't come any closer unless you mean kindness," she rasped. Colt dismounted slowly, raising his hands. "Just want to help." She studied him. Something in his voice, steady and low like the river after a storm, made her relax just a fraction. "I'm Clara," she said, her voice hoarse. "Colt Mercer." He gently removed the board from her legs, noting the badly swollen ankle. "You're lucky you're alive," he muttered, wrapping his kerchief around a bleeding gash on her thigh. "I don't feel lucky." "Well," he said softly, lifting her into his arms, "you're still breathing. That's a start." Chapter 3. 2 Shadows. Colt brought Clara to his ranch nestled beneath Red Mesa. The house was sturdy, wooden, with a small barn, a chicken coop, and a porch that looked west toward endless miles of dust and silence. Clara was wary, even after 2 days of healing. She barely spoke and refused to let him help her bathe, dressing her own wounds as best she could. But she noticed a tenderness in how he brought her food, how he never asked questions, never pried. She saw the wedding ring still hanging around his neck on a leather cord. "You lost someone," she said one morning as he helped her hobble onto the porch. He didn't look at her. "My wife, Eliza, last winter. Fever took her before the thaw." "I'm sorry." "I am too." Silence stretched between them. Finally, Clara whispered, "My mother died of the same, when I was 9. My life been a string of one loss after another since." He looked at her then, not with pity, but recognition. 2 broken souls. 2 shadows, drawn by something neither could name. Chapter 4. The Fire Within. As the days passed, Clara's body healed, and so did her spirit. She helped feed the chickens, mended shirt from the laundry pile, even taught herself to make Eliza's cornbread recipe, still hanging by the stove. Colt watched her transform. The haunted look faded from her eyes, replaced with strength, determination, fire. One evening, as the desert bloomed in hues of crimson and gold, Colt handed her a carved piece of wood, a horse figurine, sanded smooth. "For you," he said, Awkwardly, Clara turned it over in her hand, touched. Did you make this? Started it years ago. Finished it today. Their eyes met, and for the first time, there was no pause between them. Only the now. Chapter 5. The threat. Word traveled fast in the West, especially when it was bad. Clara was sweeping the porch when she saw the rider. Tall, heavyset, black coat flapping behind him. He reined his horse hard at the gate and called out, voice cold and cruel, Clara Whitmore, you've got something that belongs to me. Her blood ran cold. Reginald Cutter. Colt stepped onto the porch behind her, his expression like stone. She don't belong to anyone, Colt said, hand brushing his revolver. Reginald sneered. She was promised to me by law. She stole my horses, my wagon. I want her back, and I'll have her. You step 1 inch past that fence, you'll find out what loss really feels like. Clara trembled, not with fear, but with rage. I'm not property, and I'm not going back. Reginald spat, turned his horse, and thundered off, but his parting words chilled them both. You'll regret crossing me, cowboy. You just wait. Chapter 6. Stand or Run. That night, Clara couldn't sleep. She paced by the fire, her thoughts unraveling. I should leave, she whispered. Colt stood behind her. Why? He'll bring others. He'll burn this place to the ground if he has to. I can't let you lose more. He reached for her hands. Clara, you saved me as much as I helped you. I lost everything. And then you came, crashing into my life, literally. She smiled faintly. I'm done running, he said. If he comes, we face him. Together. Her voice broke. You'd fight for me. I'd die for you. Chapter 7. Redemption by Fire. 2 nights later, it happened. The sound of hooves woke them. Lanterns flickered on the horizon. 3 riders, Reginald among them. Colt handed Clara a rifle. You stay in the barn. If it gets bad, take the back trail to town. I'm not hiding, she said, loading the weapon with steady hands. Not this time. The riders reached the gate and dismounted. This is your last chance, Reginald growled. No, Colt replied, raising his rifle. This is your last chance. The fight erupted in seconds. Shouts, gunfire, a horse screaming. Clara took down one man from a barn window. Colt faced Reginald man to man, trading blows under the moonlight. Reginald pulled a knife, slashing Colt's side. Clara ran to him, gun aimed steady. Let him go, she snarled. Reginald hesitated, then lunged. Clara fired. The outlaw crumpled. It was over. Chapter 8. Healing in the Dust. The sheriff came at dawn, tipped his hat at the scene, and said, Looks like justice done itself here. The town would talk, but they'd say Clara had grit, and that Colt Mercer had finally found something worth living for again. Weeks passed. Colt's wound healed. So did Clara's fear. One evening, as they watched the sky bleed gold, Colt knelt in the garden and held out the same wooden horse. I carve our initials in it, he said. Figured it needed both of us to be whole. She took it, eyes shining. So do I. And right there, in the dust and the dying light, they kissed, not to forget their pain, but because they had survived it. Together,